Hello and welcome. My name is Craig D'Souza. I'm the CEO of the Creative Industry Association, and today I bring you a member from Canada, far-flung place, who she's doing fantastic stuff, and you may well have seen her online already. Audrey, hello and welcome. Hope you're well.
Craig, yes, thank you for having me.
Fantastic, no problem at all. So, Audrey, without further ado, please tell the audience and people watching who you are and what you do.
I'm Audrey DeYoung, and I'm from near London, Ontario, Canada. And I started creating when I was back in my 20s, running or volunteering at a YMCA Take a Break program, where every week we brought crafting to a lot of the young moms in the area. And every week I did crafting. And from that, I opened my own shop. I started teaching painting classes. And then it evolved over the years that we organize creative art shows across Canada. I also, which involves classes. They have different classes and workshops, an exhibit hall called Pin It Canada. And over the last year or so, we've also expanded to virtual events, Pin It Canada Live virtual event, and a weekly creative art talk show, so to speak, called Audrey Live. So it's kind of evolved over the years, and yeah, you just keep moving with how things are going through the industry. So.
Oh wow! So tell me more about the Pin It Canada. So it's obviously with everything that's gone on, it was a physical event.
It was a physical event where people would come, and we would have businesses that would have a space that they've rented to sell arts and crafts supplies, do demonstrations. So it was a hub of activity for consumers to come and learn about different products and also to purchase those products. So, and now, of course,
Fantastic.
this year we've expanded and now are doing the events live virtually. So we are now calling them Pin It Canada Live Virtual Event. And we are doing our third event coming up in March. And it's a full day of creativity. So we get different businesses, designers that book spots and showcase different products or, you know, what they enjoy doing. So it's a great opportunity for people to yeah, showcase their products across the world.
Fantastic. And so anybody can view Pin It Canada.
Yeah, anybody can view the event. The event is free for anybody on Facebook and also on our YouTube channel. And any business, if they're interested in being part of the show and booking a segment on the show to showcase their products, and it's a great marketing opportunity for anybody because we get viewership from all over the world. So it's a great way to show products that you have or new products that are coming out.
And we'll have all the links at the end of the video or at the bottom of the description as well. And when is this happening, the third one?
The third one is happening on Friday, March the 5th. And it starts at 11 Eastern. So I believe that's about 4 o'clock over in the UK. Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic.
And it's typically about five hours or so of creating. So yeah, it's just it's a lot of fun.
And that's a Friday evening, so
yes.
Hopefully that'll be fantastic. So people will book your diaries and get booked in. And for companies that would like to get involved in Pin It Canada, do a workshop and demonstration, what does that actually? Can you tell me more about what that actually looks like for them? Is it an hour segment? Is it?
We have 20-minute segments, 30-minute segments, and full hour. And so we bring them on. It's through Zoom. We bring on the presenter and just have a quick chat, and then they go straight to doing the presentation. And we also will have a bit of a question period. So I kind of take all the comments or questions from Facebook and ask them as we go along. So yeah, it's great interaction between the product and the consumer. And in many cases, they'll have specials that they'll offer through that time that people can order and buy kits or buy the product after the show or during the show as well. And we always have lots of door prizes, so it's fun for everybody.
Oh yes, I remember the door prizes from last year. Some of them were fantastic, weren't they? So yeah. Obviously this is live, but if for any reason people can't get to the live event, are they able to catch up later on?
Yes, yeah, we have it up on our YouTube channel as well, and it's our YouTube is Pin It Canada, and all the events are there. Plus, all of our every week Audrey live, though all those shows will be there as well, so they can go there and yeah, watch them week to week, so whenever they want.
Oh, fantastic. So with Pin It Canada Live, hopefully the world gets back to normality, and obviously the creativity industry, we love to see, feel and touch and be a part of the community, is moving forward. You're going to then open up the live events as well, the in-person events?
Yes, yeah, we have one that's booked in June this year and September. So we're kind of working right now with the June event, whether it's actually going to be in person or if it's just going to be, we're going to be doing it live on through Zoom, the classes, things like that, like a virtual event as well. So we're kind of working with our instructors and the businesses at this time. What that's going to look like, we don't know yet, but yeah, the plans in the works.
Now, a question just kind of coming in at you straight away from you. I do apologise. So I did send Audrey some questions to answer, but I've got to ask this one for maybe the UK and European people that are watching. What are you seeing as the trends in Canada at the moment? What's really popular as a maybe a craft hobby or interest? Have you seen
Gnomes?
Gnomes, as in the garden gnomes?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? Everybody's painting gnomes, mixed media, scrapbooking gnomes. It just seems to be a hot thing right now. Everybody is loving these gnomes.
Wow.
But I mean, that aside, I really see a trend, and it's been for the last couple of years, but more and more of a mixed media trend. You know, you see the paper art group, and they're really starting to use more stamps. They're using more fiber. They're using more paint. Where in the painting industry, they're using more paper. They're using, you know, so it's a real mix of the different different art forms are really coming together. So it's kind of a really neat and older, you know, like your macrame, your
Yep.
crocheting, you know, that some of the older crafts, I guess, so to speak, that have not really brought forefront your string art. They're kind of making a comeback. Diamond art, you know, there's all these things that, you know, you used to see that are starting to come back again.
Now, do you think that I mean, if we go quickly onto the nose, I think that's really interesting, the nose, because I know that we've had unicorns and butterflies and all those sorts of things. So I kind of get that. With this kind of almost like cross-pollination of people trying to try different craft hobbies or do mixed media and paper craft and so on and so forth. Do you think that's because during this pandemic, we've had such we've had the capability to access so much more information and content online, and businesses and designers and teachers have all now been online, and there's such a vast array, isn't there? And like we're doing, really, it's now international, isn't it? We're crossing borders now. Do you
Oh,
think
totally.
that's happened?
I think so. Yeah. I think what's happening is people have more access to and more time perhaps to watch other art forms. So, you know, like my traditional art that I started with was painting. But, you know, I love to go and watch a mixed media or a scrapbooking. You know, you see these, you know, 10-minute or 15-minute videos on Facebook or YouTube, how to's. So it's kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. You know, I'd like to incorporate that into what I do. Or maybe people are, you know, because they have the time right now and they're at home, they're wanting to try different crafts. So I think that's a real, you know, they're finding something else that they like to do, and then they'll incorporate it already with you know, their traditional craft.
Well,
And I think supplies, like for a lot of, I don't know what you know, how it's over there, but it's getting better here. But for a while there, people were having a very difficult time getting supplies because every store you went to, there was nothing available. You know, there's no paint, there's no brushes, there was no, you know, scrapbooking supplies were all kind of dwindling for a while there. And because there was such a huge amount of people that are also wanting to getting into crafting. So yeah, basically you were using up what you had in your studio.
Yeah, I think that's the same. I think that's the same here in the UK, but we've got other things that are hindering supply chain at the moment with Brexit and stuff like that. But we shan't
Yeah.
go into that
No.
on this interview. That's far to it. So I mean, Pili Canada obviously is a big animal to manage and feed, and that must take up a lot of your time. But you also do Audrey Live as well, and that's what can you just tell the audience what that is?
Yeah, I really kind of sum it up as a weekly creative art talk show. So I kind of look at what's going on in the industry throughout the week or so. Some feel good stories. If somebody's got a new product, or just a positive feel good story that's going on, or a video that I saw that I think people would like that I share. And then we also every week have a live guest. So we will talk to them, have a conversation, learn about who they are, and then also always have some hands-on project that they're doing. So they'll show us, what they like to do, and kind of like a crafting along with Craig. Or
yeah. I don't know if anybody would like to see that, but I have seen them, and it's very good because it's very informative, inspirational, but also you still have that creativity in the mix, so the audience can see exactly what that company does, what goes on with it, and I think that is fantastic to just keep continually doing that creativity the stuff. So I guess a lot of people that do the Audrey Live also do Pin It Canada as well. It must be just an add-on to that. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. And we definitely work with different companies, especially if they sign up for Pin It Canada Live event. We make sure that they get on the show a couple times a year so that we can keep up with what they're doing, what products they have, what new projects that they're releasing. And yeah, it's just a really great place to inspire people to keep creating and to keep them informed about what's going on in the industry.
Yeah. And I guess, for those companies that want to reach out to an almost international crafting consumer, they don't have to leave their home or office. They can quite easily just chat with you, do a kind of make and take on their desk, which is fantastic. And then all of a sudden, they're reaching out to an international consumer audience.
Yeah.
That's engaged and want to buy it, which is fantastic. And how long does an Audrey Live normally take?
Audrey Live is usually about an hour, and the guest is typically on for about a half hour, 40 minutes, depending on what some we have that they just keep creating and people are loving it. So, and others, they're just wanting to demonstrate one project. So yeah, we usually have the guest on for about 35 minutes, but the show itself is typically about an hour.
So that's fantastic. So just as a quick wrap up, it's Pin It Canada, and that's on the 5th of March. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Yep.
The links are going to be at the end of this video if you want to view Pin It Canada. If you want to get involved with Pin It Canada, again, the links for that will be at the end of this video and in the description below. And it's contact Audrey directly. And then there's Audrey Live as well. If any businesses want to get involved and have an interview with yourself, again, all the links and details, and people can view the old Audrey Lives as well, I guess. Yes, and the link will be at the end of this video. So that's just a brief roundup to Audrey, and I thank you so much for informing us of what's going on and what you do. And I guess we'll probably see you on the are you doing Audrey Live this week?
No, now we're doing it every other week. We were doing it every week, but now starting in the new year, we're doing every other week for at this point in time. So yeah.
Fantastic.
So this week we're on vacation. Next week we'll be on again.
Well, Matt, I will definitely catch up next week with you. My last question to you, as I've been asking everybody, is their word or word of intent for 21, the kind of word that you kind of hold dear and want to kind of always remember that you need to do or act on. So what are your words of intent?
Well, my main word of intent was refocus. I've always been focused on what I've been doing, but over the years, you just continue kind of doing what you're doing. And this year has really kind of taught me that I have to think outside the box, refocus. So I did make up a sheet, and it was quite interesting because I put refocus as my main word, and then you had to put secondary words, but art and inspire ended up being my large secondary words. So I
Wow.
really thought that that was very unique. And then I just have inspire and yeah, refocus, action, to take action on what I'm doing. So I have my main word of intent, but then I have kind of my secondary words that work with it. So I did up this this little heart that I keep right by my desk so that I can continue to look at it. So thank you. I really got that idea from you, I think, on the New Year's New Year's Eve show, I think, or meeting.
Yeah, I'll hold my hands up, and I keep saying this to everybody. It was a very dear friend of mine that told me about this just before the year ended. About because we were talking about New Year's resolutions and everything else, and she told me that this is what she did for the last 3 or 4 years, and it's really helped her. And I think people are now putting these words of intent on their walls, on the banners, and I love that little word cloud. I think that's really, really good. And you are so inspirational. I think the way you bring so many people together, especially with Chit Canada and the Audrey Lives. I mean, the viewing figures you get on these Audrey Lives are fantastic. So it's really, really brilliant at what you're doing. And I love the way you've got art in there as well. Because we haven't spoken about this, but you are quite arty yourself, aren't you?
Yes, I am very artistic, and I do some form of creativity every week, every day. So yeah, I've got a separate desk. That's where my creativity happens. Because we're also doing, we've launched a product of adult crafting kits that I'm co-branding with a kit company. So so that's kind of an extra thing that has rolled onto my lap this year, so to speak. So,
another thing you're doing.
Yeah, another thing I'm doing. Yeah. Got to keep busy.
Blimey. That's fantastic. Well, Audrey, as always, I can't thank you enough for joining this short interview and telling the audience about you, about what you're doing, the Chit Canada, the Audrey Live. All the links are in the bottom of the description here. Or you can find Audrey on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter as well, I believe. All the social media platforms. But if you can't get hold of Audrey, please contact me. I'll be more than happy to put you in contact with her. Phenomenal lady who's doing some amazing things.
Perfect.
And getting inspiration out to crafters internationally, which is fantastic. For now, I thank you so much for your time and informing our audience about you.
Well, I want to thank you, Craig, because you're an amazing person and a great role model for so many different businesses. And you share your skill and your knowledge, and you're always willing to help people for us to achieve our dreams and within the creative art industry. And the Art Industry Association has been a great help to me as well with my business and networking with so many different businesses across the world and in the UK, Canada, United States. So I really enjoy our talks and the meetings that you do too. So it definitely is great. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you very, very much. Thank you for your time. It's been fantastic. Thank you.
All right. Well, take care. Thank you.